Both Gettysburg and Gods and Generals have a very strong life in home video and in all the aftermarkets, broadcast television. They have found an audience and that continues to renew itself. Witnessed by a year and a half, 2 years ago, Warner Brothers released the director's cuts of both movies. There actually was a longer version than the Gettysburg movie. It was almost 18 minutes longer, which even I had forgotten. So when they said, you know, we have a longer version we want to release as a director's cut, I said, there is no longer version. And then I was corrected when they showed me that, in fact, there was one that I'd forgotten about. And that was refinished almost 2 years ago, remixed and recolored and released along with Gods and Generals. In the case of Gods and Generals, there was, in fact, an hour more of material we added, re-edited the whole film and restored that to its original. And those films just play and play in the home video market. So it's been very gratifying that the audience keeps discovering and rediscovers those movies. It's a question I should have a ready, easy answer to, and I really don't, because it's a kind of a mystery why any of us choose this story or that story to tell as filmmakers when we're confronted with this whole kaleidoscope of stories that seem so compelling to us. Certainly, one of the reasons is when you start making motion pictures is very challenging. Getting them financed is very challenging. And so it's, in a sense, although it's never easy, I can't even use the word easy, it's not applicable, but it's easier to get a film financed if you've done similar films before. The financiers, the people who invest in movies, it's a lot of money, it's millions of dollars, can see that you have a track record. So if you look at any filmmakers making feature films, they are kind of working in an area, more or less. I'm endlessly admiring of somebody like Ang Lee, who he's not confined by genre. He just is so Catholic in his tastes in the films that he's able to do. And I, like most filmmakers, want to do all sorts of movies. I have interests that range across a wide range of topic and interests. But when it comes to getting them financed, people like to are comfortable if you stay in an area where they think you've been successful. And so even though I have projects, Joan of Arc project I've been working on for more than 20 years, a project on the French Revolution, all sorts of other projects I haven't developed, have screenplays that I've been very close to getting financed at various points over the last 20 plus years. The ones that get made are the Civil War movies because of Gettysburg and then Gods and Generals. So I'm very happy that that any of these get made, because it's tough to make a historical motion picture about any time, any period, for any filmmaker. And the Copperhead was of great interest to me because for me it was going into an entirely new area. If both Gettysburg and Gods and Generals explored why good people fight, Copperhead explores why good people choose not to fight, which is another compelling question. Because Copperhead is about a man who doesn't think it's a good idea to have a fratricidal war over these issues. He believes that these issues that the war is fought over can be solved non-violently. And for that reason, for his position, he is metaphorically tarred and feathered and ostracized from his community, which is a northern community. The story takes place in upstate New York in 1862. So this is very intriguing for me to look at the war through the lens of somebody who was not for it. You could find probably a story that takes place in the South, a person who was living in one of the southern states who was not in favor of secession, who was not in favor of a violent conflict over these issues, and that would be equally interesting to explore. So when I came across this story, I found it very intriguing because it was new ground for me to explore. and to look at the war through an entirely different lens. And the character of Abner Beach, who is the principal character in Copperhead, is not a pacifist in the sense of a Quaker or a Mennonite being opposed to any war, any time, any place. He chooses to take a political position that this particular war is wrong to fight. And for this position, he is ostracized by his community, which is completely invested in the northern aims of the war, which by 1862 are certainly to preserve the Union, but in the fall of 1862 becomes the Emancipation Proclamation is issued, and it becomes also to free the slaves and abolish slavery. He is not in favor of slavery. He is in favor of preserving the Union. So he's not opposed to the war aims. He just doesn't think it's worth having a war over, that there are pacific means of solving these problems. So he's an intriguing character that Harold Frederic wrote when he wrote this novel in the late 1890s. Harold Frederic was a young man during the war, so he writes about things that he might have witnessed. It's a work of fiction, but it rings very true to time and place. And for me, it was breaking new ground. It was looking at the issues in an entirely new light, and it explores the issue of dissent and the cost of dissent, especially during war when everybody's at a fever pitch. The politics are extreme. People are very opinionated, and the stakes are literally life and death.